Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to another episode of HUAWEI Namaste TV Show. HUAWEI Namaste TV Show is about doing unique things. It's about going beyond what could be perceived as normal in the society to bring about the best of the society. And Nepali society has always been best at art. We have so many art forms that translates over hundreds of years, and we've still somehow maintained it and we're able to preserve it. But that doesn't end there. There's a challenge amidst us, there's a challenge ahead of us to translate and to pass on these arts to the coming generations too. Some people use different objects to express their art forms. Some people use paintings. Some people use sculptures. Some just stand back and visualize and portray it in the form of television, in the form of commercials, in the form of videos. But there's one ancient art which has been there in the Nepali diaspora for a long time as well, and everywhere around the globe, which is tattoo making. ट्याटू मेकिङ नेपाली समाजले अहिले हेर्दाखेरि अलिकति नकारात्मक रूपमा पर्सिभ गरे पनि अथवा ट्याटू बोकेका व्यक्तिहरूलाई अलिकति नकारात्मक रूपमा प्रोजेक्ट गरिए पनि I think this is one art form that has been with us through generations, because I remember my grandmother having one tattoo in her hand, and I remember so many other old people that have this form of art in their bodies. Now, what are tattoos? What is the requirement of a tattoo? भन्ने question सोध्ने प्रशस्त व्यक्तिहरू छन्. त्यसको लागि चाहिँ I think I have one simple answer, and that is katha, stories. Everybody has stories. We dwell back in those stories of the past in our mind. Some people like to write stories. Some people like to say stories. Some people like to carry their stories in their bodies. And that is the modern art of tattoo making. That is what we are here to discuss today. The 6th International Nepal Tattoo Convention, which is the biggest tattoo convention in South Asia, is happening from tomorrow at Yakin Yeti. And like every year, HUAWEI Namaste TV Show is a part of it this year too. I have 3 wonderful gentlemen, 2 who've traveled across the globe just to be a part of this conversation, just to be in the lap of Himalayas and enjoy tattoo art at its best. And one person who, no matter where he is around the globe, makes sure he comes back to his nation and promotes the art of tattooing every year. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in extending a warm welcome to the organizer of 6 consecutive editions of the International Nepal Tattoo Convention, a big, big event in the tattoo world around the globe, Mr. Bijay Shrestha. Bijay, how's it going, man? Welcome. I'm doing good. Well, that's a great T-shirt, I must say. You know, I never feel like less when I'm wearing a suit. But I mean, the art that you're carrying right now. Tell us something about the 6th International Nepal Tattoo Convention. How are the plannings this year? What's going to happen?
Yep.
How are things looking right now?
No, 6th International Nepal Convention is a very special one for all of us. Hami, as an organizer, artist, Hami sabai. It's very important and special for us because last year, जुन चाहिँ earthquake भएको थियो, त्यो हाम्रो 5th International को second day मा भएको थियो. So we all went through that,
right.
Yeah, that
shake,
moment,
that big shake that changed everything.
Yeah, and then it shook us, it scared us, but also it kind of bonded us together for life. And then, so त्यसपछिको हाम्रो डर के थियो भने, now people are going to get scared to come back to Nepal, and I don't blame them, of course.
Right.
We don't have an excuse because this.
Everybody was scared. We wanted to leave too at that moment,
exactly. So त्यो हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ one point मा त्यो डर भयो. अनि अर्को point मा चाहिँ we were like, no matter what, I mean 10 जना भए पनि we'll come back, we'll continue what we started, and because this love that we have for art, for each other, the respect for artists, and the love for Nepal, त्यो चाहिँ we're not going to stop. So we're going to do it no matter what, no matter how many. And so that's we talked about with friends and गर्ने अब ल भनेर सुरु गरेपछि, and then thank
Everything
God,
came into place,
yes,
and you're finally
Yeah.
Well, much awaited, because last year we couldn't get the best of it,
Yeah.
right? I went there the first day, the second day,
Right.
and we had shut it down.
Yeah.
This year, though, are there any major highlights? What are you looking forward to? How is it going to change? Is it changing every year? Because it seems
is.
like it's taking a step up
Oh
higher,
yes,
right?
oh yes, oh yes. And last year, another thing was last year we kind of reached your point of पुगिसकेको भन्ने we thought, because we had amazing artists, good crowd, support from you, from all our friends, supporters, promoters, sponsors, and that happened. So this year, it's kind of like starting from the scratch again, and so it also made our team kind of humble, in a good way. It's like,
Towards the support you're receiving,
Yeah,
towards
yeah,
the
and
support
then-
that there is for this industry.
there were so many artists thinking of coming here in later years. That after last year's earthquake, thinking like, no, like this is the year that I have to be there
Right,
to support the convention, friends, and Nepal.
right.
And everybody who is here, who comes, are a part of Nepal or have in something with Nepal, related to Nepal in some way or the other. And to have that, amazing. And then this year, again, we're talking about this beautiful art. It's done by a very good friend, George.
Right.
And so यो वर्षको आर्टमा चाहिँ we were thinking of, this is like white tarako, the healing power of white tara. So it's,
Well, if you could just face to that camera.
Yep.
Visually, I mean, like, it doesn't look right if I touch you that way on TV, but I'm really just touching that art.
so this is like,
It's amazing. Like, you showed me this design a couple of days ago, and I'm like, it requires a lot of creativity, a lot of peace to be able to come up with an art piece
Yeah,
like this. And that was a topic of discussion for about 30 minutes.
yes, we did
while
talk
we
about
were
it. And then
together.
it's like George, मैले भेटेको छैन कहिले पनि, we've been just chatting Facebook, emailsमा कुरा गर्दाखेरि, अनि के बनाउने, what's in your mind भन्दाखेरि, I was thinking like Taraको healing,
Right.
we need to, we are. So त्यो and Nepal. For convention like this, Nepal is always the point, the main point for us. So I told him just 2 words: Tara, healing, and Nepal flag, the most unique, cool flag ever. And he's like, yeah, okay, I got it. And then he gives me this. I was like, wow.
That's pretty amazing. So all the international tattoo artists are here already.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And of course, we're going to be having a pre-party
Oh,
this
yes.
evening. A big match coming up your way to ICC World T20 second semi-final. Of course, England beat New Zealand yesterday. India will be taking on West Indies. That's a match to look forward to, and we're going to do that in some style.
We will.
We're going to invite also the artist for this amazing piece of art we saw, and another friend of ours from half the world across. Let's start with Mr. Quentin English, who is from England and is a body piercing artist and is a great tattoo artist himself. There you go.
Hi.
Quentin, welcome to the show. Thank you.
you.
Thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
And along with Quentin, I would also like to invite George Kalodimas from Greece originally, but is doing his work in LA, New York. We're not. Welcome to the show, guys. Let's bend our let's stop bending our backs a little bit and let's just rest. Please. Wow. So if somebody stayed here, Bijay, please.
Oh, yeah. That's
So how's it going, guys? It's amazing. I've always been this big admirer of tattoos. Well, I carry it in my body too. Unfortunately, I don't have a body where I can show it off like yours. Like both of you, you look amazing in your tattoos. But tell me about it. And how's it going for you guys? How's Nepal treating you?
Amazing. I mean, I've been here a few times. So for me, it's like coming home. So this time, yeah, even more so. It was that bit special to come back. It felt comforting in a way to see everyone again, especially after last year. And yeah, I'm really happy. That's what.
You were here last year too, Quentin, weren't you?
Yes,
And
yeah.
you were part of the big shake.
Yeah.
That didn't stop you from thinking twice about coming this year, did it?
No.
No.
I mean,
when Quentin was one of the first guys when we were here doing the rehabilitation, compost toilet thing together, we will always talk about it, and he was like, yeah, it doesn't matter, we will do it again, and we will come. And
you have to. I mean, you stand through your friends in good and bad times.
Right.
And there's times when you go, and to be honest, okay, it's not. I don't have to live here, so it's very, very different for me and for George also. But you know, people are like, well, I worry to come here. So first of all, I have to go through an English airport after what's happened in Brussels. I then fly via Istanbul, where there's been bombings. In between time, I'm actually in a tin can at about 20 to 30,000 feet. And I've driven in a car at 100 kilometers an hour to get to the airport. And then everyone says, are you worried? I'm like, no, I'm going to feel safer when I'm back in Nepal.
Well, everything seems safer after that, doesn't it? George.
I was in the same flight, like
you were in the same
one
flight,
scene in front, so
same experience. But this is your first year in the International Nepal Tattoo Convention.
It's my first time in Asia, in general.
Wow.
Yeah, and my first time in Nepal.
So tell us what you're expecting. What had you heard of Nepal, International Nepal Tattoo Convention? Did news fly to you that there's a convention happening every year here?
Oh yeah, I knew it from the first year.
Right.
But I was very young in the industry 6 years ago. It was my first years of doing concentrated work on geometry and Tibetan related art.
Wow.
So yeah, I always wanted to come. And the past 3 years I started traveling all over the world. So I was, let's say, fed up with Western civilization and, you know, New York, LA, Europe.
You need to get back to your roots, find the peace.
Yeah, right? exactly. I wanted to do something that I thought it will be inspired, but honestly, it's the most great experience in my life the past week here.
Wow.
Honestly, like, from the heart.
A great compliment for all of us Nepali, I suppose. Quentin, you tell me, when an international tattoo artist comes to Nepal Tattoo Convention, what is he here primarily for?
I mean, I come because after 6 years to see like my family. That's what it feels like for me. I mean, I don't do an awful lot of. I've done conventions over the years, and they're friendly, but this convention takes it to a whole new level.
So it's different from the conventions happening all around the world.
Yeah, for me it is.
Ways?
You know, I just feel so at home. Everyone is so friendly. You know, like I suppose in every industry, there's always a few issues between. Here, everyone just meets. Everyone talks. You walk in, you don't know anyone. There can be someone who's incredibly famous in our business. They come up to say hello. There's no hi. You know, I'm this.
There's no sense of who is who, and everybody's well receiving each other well. Perhaps it's the environment of this place for all of the foreigners. Hasn't happened like that for us Nepali people, because we're fighting all the time here. Bijay, you tell me when, like, I just mentioned like Nepali traits, and Nepali traits particularly don't go against tattoos. You know, we might have a history that supports the art, but the present doesn't, and the present shies away from it. A large percentage of people right now in the country don't somehow understand the art. And you've been putting up an amazing show with a huge budget for 6 continuous years now. What are the things that you have to battle through to put up a show like this?
It's an achievement. The battle itself is an achievement, because at the end of the day, like, you know, I hear this from you. I get the kind of compliments from Nepali media, like, you know, it's all, I mean, yeah, all the things that I hear, that's an achievement. And then I make friends and family like these guys from other part of the world.
Right.
They come and they go back with the experience, and then they are here for the excuse will be Nepal Tattoo Convention, but then they love the country, and that's what the whole convention is all about.
There's a message flying through too, isn't there? Because I mean, Prince Harry could come here and say sing laurels about this country, but that would still seem scripted. But when like artists who come here and get the actual feel and flavor of this country, go back and put a good word for this country.
Exactly. Right now we have around like 150 plus artists from all around the world with their own individual mindset. Different people doing different things,
and
gathering different.
Goes in with good
that's
to say about
I can't script for everybody. I can't tell this guy, like, they're my friends, but like, no, like, you know, and I don't do that, and it's not possible for me to go and tell 150 plus people, like, go back with a good memory, tell everybody you had fun. Like, no, they go back. It happens. It happens.
That's the magic in this convention.
And in this, you know, 6-7 years in the convention ko partma, and like Mohan Gurung, they goreko kam. Along with Mohan Gurung, there are other Nepali artists who the kind of work they do, the sentiment attached to their work, the dedication, the respect. And you can see, like, Poila tattoo bandakiri probably you think is gonna, you know, राम्रो छैन. So now the work that we do, Nepali artists, it's amazing. And then who can say no, or you might not appreciate, like, I may not approve it, but you cannot appreciate a good art.
Right.
And that's it, like, मन पर्दैन मेरो हुन्छ नि तर you show someone राम्रो गर्छ नि they will say like wow म लगाउँदिन होला म बनाउँदिन तर that's beautiful.
Do people you work with, or do people you need to take permissions from to do these kind of events, understand the positives that this event brings out, not just when it comes to tattoos or art, but promoting Nepali culture throughout the globe, and also promoting tourism? Do they receive it like that, or are you still treated after 6 editions of the International Nepal Tattoo Convention? You're still treated with a bit of twitch in the eye.
A little bit of that, more of the appreciation.
Wow.
That's
So times are changing, aren't they?
Oh yeah. And like with this year, like I'm happy, blessed to have friends are in position who can help me monetarily. Yes, my काम गर्दा. And then Nepal Tourism Board this year, like we had a good chat, and they are doing more because they understand like tattoo might not be of your interest, but this is the event bringing so many international artists.
Right.
Foreigners, tourists to Nepal. Well, that's what we need. We need every individual people to come here, go back and say like, look at me, I had a good time.
Right.
Amazing time. You go.
And that's how people like George will make that trip, will decide on making that trip. George, let's go to your story. Everybody has a story on how they reach out to doing what they're doing today. What was your story? How did you get into tattooing? Was it there in you as your little child? Did you have that love for it already, or did you find it later on?
Since I remember, and since my parents tell me, I used to draw. I used to draw, like, it was my only passion. I wasn't into sports. I wasn't into, like partying, clubbing. I used to only draw and read. So the tattoo came, let's say by accident, because one of my best friends got into tattooing, and he knew how good I was drawing, so he said, don't you want to try it?
Right.
It was almost 13 years ago. It wasn't as glamorous as it is today. So because I had the support of my parents, because they knew how much I like to draw and do that as a profession. So this is how.
I'm sure there's big difference, isn't there? Like drawing on a piece of paper or drawing on someone's body.
Oh, yeah.
One question
the
I always
first day
have
I wanted to quit. Because, I thought.
One question I always have for tattoo artists is like, how do you start to learn? Do you practice in dead bodies, or how does one learn the art of tattooing?
You have to have good friends so you can practice on them.
Like here you go. You can draw anything in my hand.
Sacrifice yourself.
Yeah.
Sacrifice
And you have to have
yourself.
good teacher to really be on you. So the skin comes last. You have to practice everything before in paper and everything. And if you have your mind there, it will work on the skin.
It's a very difficult job, isn't it, to be able to concentrate for so many hours and and get it dead straight.
You have to love it.
Body.
That's it. You have to love it.
So is it like meditation somewhat when you guys go in and start doing your art? You just get into it, you just dwell in it, and time is of no value anymore.
Yeah, of course.
It's like that.
We light incense, we put our music, and we get into the vibe,
Wow.
Yeah.
Sounds a beautiful place to be. Quentin, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near you because I mean, there's going to be even the music will have to be too loud. There's going to be a lot of screamings when you were piercing someone on their hands, on their backs.
I mean, it depends on the area, and again, it's the same thing. I like to make people part of the process, so I try to almost get away from almost the medical idea of me and you.
Right.
The person has to go through with the experience. All I can do is try and help them through that experience. And it is only, with most piercings, it's a half a second as you exit. So what you're feeling is the exit point. And I think if you can help and talk people through it, then most of my clients find it okay. I mean, some of the more unusual stuff I do is a little bit different. But these days, there's, you get lots of numbing creams that you can apply and stuff. So
is it a painful process, like body piercing? Some of which you have in your hand, like?
Okay, yeah. The stuff in my arm is you're cutting the skin. You're then elevating and lifting the skin to make a pocket underneath. You then put the shaped implant under the skin, and then you stitch up. Okay, on someone like me, no, my skin separates very easily. So this, from start to finish, took half an hour, and that was 3 pockets, implants in and stitched up. So on me, no, something like this is bearable. Other people, if the skin's a bit thicker, it's a little bit different.
Right.
So.
And you're a big fan of tattoos too.
Yes.
And you perform tattoos yourself too.
Not really. I do a bit of hand tattooing on myself, but I wouldn't practice. There's
You don't like George. You don't have many good friends, do you? Like,
no,
to lend their body out to you for their entire lives.
I mean, there is a joke in our business, which is piercers are tattooists who can't draw.
I don't want to say it.
Yeah, George will defer to that.
Or it's not painful. It's not that painful enough for you to get into it. Like tattoos.
I can sit for you if you want.
So you come from England, you know.
Yeah.
And the first idea I had when I found out that you're a body piercing artist was that it's a conservative society. I mean, it could be a far advanced one, but how did people receive it when you started body piercing?
I mean, it was probably some of the earlier days.
How many years ago was that?
I started piercing now. This is a problem, you know. It's a long time when you're trying to work. How old am I? It's
double
about
the age of you.
It's about 22 years I've been piercing.
22 years. Yeah. Wow, that's a long time.
So in those days, I mean, I had practiced. I learnt on myself because there was probably 2 piercing shops, one in, I think, Croydon and one in Brighton. And I went for an apprenticeship with the guy in Brighton, along with probably 200 other people.
Wow.
And although I knew him, which probably was why I didn't get the job, but I sort of knew I had to pierce. I had a particular piercing, and when I came back into my body, I was like, okay, I have to see from the other side of the needle. So I got some sterilizing equipment, got some needles, and looked at myself, and started to do piercings on myself. And I had very good friends, like George said, who came to you and said, okay, look, I want you to pierce me. And I was like, well, yeah, I've done
needle
so many.
I love you enough.
And I'm eternally grateful for those people who had that belief on your third piercing. Yes, you can pierce my tongue.
Have you ever gone wrong while piercing? Other stories?
The first time, my first ever piercing was the tongue, and it came off center.
Oh, that
And
hurt.
I would, I'm not for the I mean, it makes, for them the pain was the same, but for me I was so devastated that it was a bit off. And they were like, oh, it's okay, don't worry about
You know,
it.
it's funny how body piercing is received here. In fact, I'm just reminded of a story I read a couple of days ago only on newspaper, where there's a tradition in Bhaktapur, and you have to pierce your tongue every year. So this is the 7th time he was doing it. And something like that would sound like a piece of cake to you, I suppose. But it gets so much of media attention, you know, that person becomes a hero of that society, where having his tongue pierced 6 times in a jatra called Biscuit Jatra.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So how is it received in your part of the world? What does it symbolify? What is the idea behind body piercing?
I mean, it depends. It's changed so much from when I mean, I first got into body piercing through coming to India and Nepal.
Wow.
And I saw the Babbas. And I saw the Babbas at the Kumbh Mela doing all of the various things that they did. And it really fascinated me, this idea to do something that you went beyond the pain, that you used your mind to go to a different level. So that's what first interested me in doing piercing, was the idea that it was a marking. It marked up a time or a journey. And so the pain aspect is relative, but how it was accepted, it was a small subculture that probably most people didn't know about. It was much more of a community, I suppose, where you knew the people in it. It was like-minded people. Everyone was an individual, but you had perhaps a similar ethos in the way that you lived, and it was a way of identifying with each other. And now it's obviously there's shops everywhere. It's different people coming for a piercing. They don't want to link with the tribe in Papua New Guinea when they get their navel done. They just want a navel, and that's absolutely fine. You know,
Speaking of glamorous object now.
yeah, it's like getting your nail. My business more so, I think, in the West now, it's like you get your nails done, or you get a piercing. We've almost having to fight back to go, look, it's a skilled profession.
Right.
You know, yes, in theory, you get a needle, you push it through, you put some, that's it. It's, not quite like that. To get it to heal, to get it to look right, to get it to right placement. But as things sometimes become more popular, they can sometimes become slightly devalued. But
So you have piercing stalled this time in the Tattoo Convention too?
yeah, I do more. I come to do more branding, scarification, and the more unusual.
Wow.
I've got like magnetic implants with me, and
So people in Nepal to come up to you and then ask you to
yeah,
form.
Yeah, that was interesting. Was last year or the year before? Because every time he comes every year, and he's there and he's the face of Nepal Tattoo Convention. And then wasn't the last year or the year before? He came to me and said like, oh, there's a guy who wants to get about scarification. It's like, I have to work. I don't like that. I want my tea.
yeah.
I was like, really? And that's Nepali society. We want to. That's like the new Nepal, the new Kathmandu. I would say we want to grow.
We're waiting for that chance.
Yeah, we
opportunity,
accept
like, yeah.
changes. We love that. We are growing, and to bring and to talk about like, oh no, this is bad. Like I don't say that. Nothing is bad or wrong. Like you approve, you don't approve, it's up to you.
Right.
But like don't tag anything as in any way. Like I'm not talking about like piercing, tattoos, and everything in general. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Piercing. I mean, does it have an astrological significance? Anything you understand? Because I mean, I was told that you're a Bhakt of Shiva, so certainly close to the Hindu religion, and I'm sure you've been observing it for a long, long time now. Do you think is there a link as such when it comes to astrology or and piercing?
Not necessarily astrology, but in many cultures, it's a marking of a time of coming of age or of particular times.
Because I'll tell you an instance. I mean, this could be surprising for you to hear too. So there's this chart called the birth chart, in Hinduism, which every person has a birth chart, and that birth chart which is called China makes what your future is going to be about. It gives you a slight idea of what your future is going to look like. And if your future if your future has problems in it, and if you're like going to face those problems in life, there are astrological measures they take to pierce their nose, the inside of their nose sometimes, to pierce their eyes sometimes, to pierce both of their ears sometimes, and wear a body piercing. So that's the significance in Hinduism, which is always surprising to me, because a couple of years ago my mom came to me and said, you're going to go through some difficult times, you better get your nose pierced. And that was a painful process. I went through it because I've always respected body piercing as well. I went through it. It was very painful. I haven't had to come across that obstacle, I suppose. So it could work that way too. Those are the stereotypes. Those are taboos that we're living with, perhaps us Nepali people. But it is there. It's not that body piercing or tattoo are two alien art forms for us.
No.
It's been there for years, and we somehow are a part of it too. Some member of the family is always a part of it, always enjoys it, always likes it, and that's the way it is. So Tattoo Convention, this is one of the few events that has over 5,000 people attending it.
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me how this progressed. The first year, how many people were coming in, and coming to the 6th International Nepal Tattoo Convention, what are your expectations with people?
The same kind of love that we got from day one. I mean, like there's definitely an addition of visitors coming in, but जुन चाहिँ मान्छेहरु जुन चाहिँ support हामीले first year मा पाथ्यौं त्यो उनीहरु छ, and they are always my prize treasures. Like it's because of them they came in, they've been coming in, they tell others, and the youth of Nepal, मान्छेहरु, they are more open, and like they now see it. They know it's art. It's art. There's nothing wrong. You don't have to tag this art to anybody or your characteristic or what you do or what you don't do. So people look at that way, and then now, when we have people, artists of this caliber, of this status coming in, so now people are like, oh, and then maybe we see this, or like, so now when we see so many different kinds of art, like what George does, like mandala, like Tibetan art influence, and that's something that we love it,
Right, of course.
and then if you know, like this is also a form of tattoo. And picture they has a realistic tattoo banaya, to see that, like that's cool. That's like amazing.
And the other thing about Nepal Tattoo Convention is I have so many friends who wait like every year for the convention to happen so that they can go and get their tattoos done, right?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, हाम्रो Nepali artists the whole point was to get this exposure for them and for international artists to come here and see what we do, our art, our Nepali tattoo artists. And that's the main thing why we did it, for them to exchange their plan, their ideas, their experiences, and for Nepali general public to come and see this art and to learn. And
This is what happened in my country. Like right now, we will have the 10th Athens Tattoo Convention, and I can see the tattoo culture, how it grew those 10 years, and how the Greek artists became much better because of the convention, because of the international artists that were coming in. They woke us up. They like.
And also,
we got influences, we got more knowledge, and it helped us grow as Greek tattoo society a lot.
Right, very true. How it worked for Clinton? Like you just saw the Babas, and you said, you've got something to do with body piercing now. So for a lot of people, it could be like once you go to the tattoo convention, a lot of youths could perhaps think about pursuing a career in here. A lot of generating interest of that sort, because all it takes is a little moment, a little step that could change a lot of lives. I, for one, know a lot of youths who are interested in tattoo making and are trying to learn the art. So you can see a lot of these tattoo institutes too in Kathmandu these days. We're going to go for a break right now. When we come back, of course, we'll be discussing with Bijay what is the tattoo scene like here. Is there a career as of yet? How many people are working here in the tattoo industry? And what kind of art Clinton and George, both of them, perform? We'll be discussing all about that. The 6th International Nepal Tattoo Convention is starting from tomorrow. It is always it's scheduled to happen at Yakin Yeti. So you should check it out one of the 3 days that it's going to happen. I'm going to be there too. We're all going to be there every day. It's all I can say, being a part of it, being there myself, is that it's an amazing hub that everybody joins in to create, to celebrate art. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. This is HUAWEI Namaste. Welcome back to HUAWEI Namaste TV Show. We're discussing the 6th International Nepal Tattoo Convention here today with the main organizer, Bijay Shrestha, and 2 artists from around the globe. From England, we have Quentin, and from Greece, we have George. George, what's it like working in America in the tattoo industry? I'm sure there's a big market out there, a lot of tattoo enthusiasts. You're home, aren't you?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's I like it there because the tattoo industry goes many years back. So the people right now there understand a lot how to act like clients, so they know what to expect, what to ask from you. So yeah, my life there is very busy, but also very well organized.
Right.
It doesn't have the craziness of Europe and the big temper and everything.
Right.
But yeah, I like it there. I'm half American, so I knew America.
Right.
I knew United States, so it wasn't hard for me to work there.
Right. Tell us about the art form that you practice tattooing in a little bit. If you would just elaborate on what kind of art forms have you gathered over the years, and what kind of art forms are you performing? Of course, mostly I think for tattoos, it's like the person comes with his own art. Is it? And sometimes the artists freestyle, or sometimes no.
It depends. It depends how well educated the person is.
Right.
So, of course, social media and internet has helped a lot. So the people right now come to the artist for his or her art. So they don't come with something that they download from Google.
Right. Okay.
So they come from the exact art of the artist himself. So in my case, I work the past 6 years in geometry, and I'm pretty much influenced by the Eastern cultures and Tibetan and Nepali imaginary. So I combine all that in my work, and yeah, people come to me and say, like, take my sleeve and do whatever you like.
Wow.
So I start a little bit conversation with them to see what person they are, if they want something dark or something soft or something, you know, like how we used the healing Tara for healing. So you know, I try, but as I said, I have to study more your philosophy.
That's more of a challenge, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Like I told you
yesterday. So much faith and saying, you know what, I have an arm, and you know you can take it, just draw over it.
No, we were talking yesterday when we went around. Like he's seen a lot.
Yeah.
And then he was telling me, like, I thought I knew about, you know, Tibetan art because he makes this beautiful. And it's like, now I know, like, I know nothing. There's so much to, and then he goes and buys these books about everything.
Yeah. Like
it's a never-ending process.
I think now I'm starting, and I'm glad. I told you I'm glad because it's like a never-ending journey, like knowledge, and I'm very happy you have all that in your life. That is not just sightseeing; it's part of your everyday life, and that was my most big experience. You know, like that. All that I thought it was like sightseeing. Like if you come to Greece, you go to Parthenon and you just see it. For you here is part of your life.
Experience.
Yeah.
So that was
the way we live
thing
our
that
life.
shocked me.
Like, you know, Mandir Stupa is like, you know, we can go in, we can just lie down there, read a book, do whatever. It's not a fenced place that you just take picture or
it's not like a museum. This is
lived.
Totally you can stay there, enjoy the moment.
And that was shocked me. That's the thing that changed me, and now I want to, you know.
So now you're more passionate. Now you're more deep into the art.
100%.
That's beautiful to hear, Judge. Quinn, what is it like for you then? What kind of people come to you? You know, do they come with something specific? Do they have requests, or do you fill them in?
It's some and some. I mean, people may come with an idea. Some people, because with scarification and branding, because it's not so much like the shading and the different styles. So it tends to work more like as a line drawing that you would get with the tattoos. So often people will give me an idea, and then I will usually play around on Photoshop and work ideas, and often I will go, well, how about this idea? Sometimes people come with a quite specific idea. It means something, it's a marking that represents something, and they'll come with the design, and as long as I feel it's feasible to do that design, and I go, yep, if that's what you want, we talk about it, then that's what. So it works a mixture of both, really.
Does it also depend on which part of the world you're in? For example, is there a difference to how people in UK come to you and how people in Nepal would come to you as a body?
It's a bit early days to find out at the moment in Nepal, because obviously...
Have you pierced anybody's body?
I've done lots of piercings.
What are the most common ones?
I mean, the first year probably was lips and ears. But as I say, there's lots of piercers here, and trying to come over with the range of jewellery, the clamps, the glove. I already come with about 20 plus kilos, and I haven't got most of my piercing. If I have to bring a clamp for every piercing to hold the skin, and then pliers to open the rings, and I need a new set for every client, it doesn't become feasible to sort of do that. And so I just thought I'd come over and do more of the unusual, the branding and the scarification, because I thought it's a little bit more different. It's showing something new. It's another art form which you can combine very well with tattoos, especially if you have like large black areas. Because if I go over with the branding, or if I cut over, you then get your skin tone which will heal inside. So you can then put a design over the top, which our skin goes white. And the polyskin depends. Mohan's went white. It really showed up white in his arm. So it gives you a little bit more. I like the idea of combining the different art forms at times, because I think it can work really well.
So every art that both of you are performing is a new day for you, it's a new experience for you, and it's a new outcome, isn't it? And I suppose that's what is the best part about it.
That's our blessing,
Yeah, you meet, for me it's the wide range of people I meet. I wouldn't need, I mean, everyone, okay, you're wearing a social grouping or whatever, you tend to meet like-minded people. On TV, but I mean everyone from junkies to judges. I get a complete spectrum of people. We all inhabit the same earth, but people sometimes we see it very differently. And I like the fact that I don't just spend my whole time with tattooed people who think the same as me. My clients are a huge range, from people in their 50s, 60s, 70s to people bringing their kids in to get their ears pierced.
Exactly.
And it's wonderful, the variety that you see and meet. It also teaches us as well not to judge a book by its cover.
Right.
Because
That's what I was thinking. The great thing about the art forms that you're practicing is that you also become better individuals at life, at just living, right? Because you become more passionate people, you become more artistic people, and there's a whole new world to perceive from that angle, from that perspective, I suppose. It's amazing, Bijay, to just sit back. Last year at the pre-party, I was sitting down discussing to so many of the artists, and every year, every new tattoo artist I talk to, I mean, it's a new experience for even me. Bijay, shed light on the tattooing scene here right now, as far as to your knowledge goes. How many people, how many tattoo artists do you think are working all across the country? Is it a good career for them? Are they still looking for alternatives, or they can dwell in and practice and perfect the art? What is the tattoo industry like here in Nepal?
It has definitely grown. Industry, the quality of work, Nepali artists, it has, like, there are so many good artists, and of course, like what they said, it's not a job, it's a passion, it's a respect, dedication that you have. Like we were talking the other day, he was talking to two young artists, he was saying, like, that's what you do. You have to be passionate about it. You just keep on doing what you love. And the moment you think it's a job, then do something else.
Right.
Because you need dedication, and there are so many Nepali artists who they've been doing it, and I can see their work. I'm not an artist, but I appreciate that art.
Right.
I love this art. And to see their work, it's amazing, it's beautiful. And there are so many, convention, there are studios from Dharan, Italy, and त्यहाँ ठाउँमा पहिला चाहिँ खाली के ट्याटु भनेको काठमाडौँमै आउनु पर्ने या पोखरामा आउँथ्यो हैन अनि अब मेरो
साथी quality was always questionable, right? The hygiene was perhaps questionable.
And then the convention को सुरुमा हामीले गर्दाखेरि नै the reason we do and the way we do it is to educate artists and customers. This is what you have the right to know, to do it in a hygiene place, in a proper way.
Of course.
And because don't blame tattoo if it's done by a person who does not know to do it properly. You don't blame the art. It's like it's a process, and that's the whole point of doing the convention, was to teach artists, or not teach, like just to say, like, this is how it's supposed to be done. And that's why we have people from all around the world who do it, and like they tell them, like, this is Goryo. And हाम्रो Nepali customers, like, if you don't see it done this way, then don't give them business.
Right.
That's, it's also your responsibility.
Of course.
Yeah, definitely.
It's half and half.
Tattoo bigrio, you blame your tattoo artist. But there are so many things. You have to know how to take care of the tattoo, how it's done, where it's done, by whom it's done. How are you as a person? What's your physical state?
What is your mental state? Sometimes you just say, I'm going to go get this tattoo, and like tomorrow you might not like that art form, right?
Come on, it's what I say back at home in my clients. We're not in the 60s. You have a computer in your pocket, and you're using it all day. Come on.
Do that much of work and then love it.
Some research.
Research and
you can't blame. It is important.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, people also have to make some effort to look and take some responsibility for where they go, for what they get as well. It should be a two-way thing. If you don't like what someone's drawing, then don't get it tattooed. Research.
Just because it's the next block from you, and you say
you don't want to get on a bus for 5 minutes
as a tattoo, right? Bijay, you tell me then. Is there a career that a young person could perhaps imagine in this industry? Can I go to my younger brother and say, you know what, if you want to do, if tattooing is what you want to do, then you can do it, and there's a good future for you ahead?
Oh, definitely. Look at this guy. They are world famous. Everybody knows them, and then it's not that they were born in this big studio. No, it's from their hard work and the dedication and the kind of creation that they have made. They do. And then Nepali artists पनि जस्तै हाम्रो मोहन भयो लगायत अरु मान्छेहरु यहाँबाट नेपालको मान्छे नेपालको artists, when we go out, they know their name, so it's because and now, like what you said, everything is in your pocket. You do something amazing, it's there. You talk, and then and you see, and then yes, and if you have the patience, if you have the
hard
will to
work.
go through that pain.
And put the hard work in.
Yes.
That's the
And
thing.
like, it's like everything else. It's not about,
Dedication.
dedication. Like, it never stops. You got to be humble to the art and the process of learning, like everything else. Of course, Nepalma also जुन चाहिँ अहिले मान्छेहरूको like you know, I mean, you love this art, and then another person that you meet, 10 मान्छेसँग कुरा गर्दाखेरि, I'm sure you're going to influence all those, if not all of them, at least one influence भयो भने
Yeah, because it's a simple question to ask. We were discussing this last year, and I just came across it. That it's just one question to ask, and it is, if you don't like tattoos, answer me why. And I don't think there's an answer to that question, because it's my body, it's my love, it's my passion, it's my story, and if you don't, there's no reason for you to not like it. So you're jumping into it without even thinking and saying I don't like that.
Yeah.
And since there's nothing to answer.
Exactly. And then so once you have this kind of, you tell another example, like if you make that person, if you sell that idea to him and he buys it, you have another customer for a new artist. So like, at times 10, you have more, there's more opportunity to make for new artists to work. And that's how it grows. And
that's how it's growing, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's
right?
how it's growing.
Yeah.
And like now all the studios, पहिला एक दुईजनाको स्टुडियोजहरू होला नि मान्छेले जाने त्यही गर्नुपर्छ भनेर अब अहिले हरेकको कामहरू राम्रो राम्रो छ हरेककोमा गइरहेको छ everybody is getting work and yes definitely go and tell your bhai to like if you have that if you have the capability and the will to practice and pain to go and you want to go through that pain of learning, practicing, respect for the art.
It's like every school. Like if you go to a university for 4 years, you have to dedicate to become good in your profession. It's the same thing.
Quentin, George, I'm sure you've been around tattoo conventions all over the globe. Like a lot of tattoo conventions in a lot of states, in the states itself, in a lot of places outside the states. How is it like outside, and what different does Nepal Tattoo Convention have to offer?
I mean, this is the only one I go to now.
Well, that answers that, I suppose. That doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a convention. It's more than just a convention. It's a
Yeah,
family. It's a family.
I can answer you on that.
It's a family. I come here to see everyone. It's a convention, and I want to do this. And okay, I want to work, I think, but no. It's mainly it's a whole thing. It's coming to Nepal, being back in Nepal again. I mean, it's that whole thing. You see everything really quick. It's an amazing place. That's probably it.
Next year I'll come back.
You will. George, it's too early to ask this question to you right now because I mean the official tattoo convention is going to start from tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'll gather your experience, of course, after the show too.
Okay, I can tell you from now. I can tell you from now that I do almost 15 conventions a year all over the world. Like every 3 weeks I travel somewhere. United States and Europe.
Right.
All the big ones, all the like 50,000 people in everything. It's the first time in my life that I don't feel business. That I don't feel like we are part of a business transaction. That this is where I will work, and first time. I'm telling you with my heart, I have been traveling like that for the past 4 years, and it's the first time that I can say the guy who organized the convention is my friend. I can say to him, like, as my friend, brother, and I'm telling you, I will come back. I already talked with my wife. I said to her, like, next year we're gonna come here for 2 weeks, and I'll be here again.
Oh, that's amazing to hear. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow, the 6th International Nepal Tattoo Convention will start. Come there if you love tattoos. Come there just for an amazing environment, because this was one of the rarest parties I walked into last year. There's pre-party going on, and everybody, there's no noise. There are about 150, 200 people in there, but there's no noise, and everybody's talking to each other. Everybody's listening to each other, and that's the sort of environment that artists will create. It starts tomorrow, goes until Sunday. I hope to see you there. Time now for a short commercial break, but when we come back, let's get into Bijay Dai's past and actually find out how he got this idea of hosting an event like this in Nepal, and how he went on to materialize it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to HUAWEI Namaste TV Show. Three amazing people from tattoo industries around the globe. Bijay, you're starting tattoo business where you're at, right?
Yes, yes.
And how's that going for you?
We are like I'm in the beginning phase. सुरु भर्खर सुरु हुँदैछ. तर it has राम्रो response पाएको छ हामीले. अनि I mean it's the connection, the kind of people that I know, and how the whole approach to this industry is not the business. It's about the
about
respect.
Enjoying it.
The respect, and then like more tattoo handina. I don't do, but I do everything else.
Right.
So now Oslo are planning to set up a shop studio, and then again just bring the whole the respect that I have for this art, and then we'll have books, we'll have I'm talking to this guy who used to come and visit me there, and we'll have seminars talking about the art, get people, tell them what they want, or what is this, what are they, and then of course there's business, but more about not only come to my shop, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. Oh, this is new, this not that. This is what we have, this is what you need. Maybe you don't need this, but it's just going to be more about the respect again, because I love this art, and then no harm in making money, but then not only sell. Just it's kind of the plan of having the studio and the shop is like when you come in, there'll be materials to read, there'll be if you have any doubts, we're going to be there to help you, and then then we'll sell you things. Well,
that's all sounds grand. Coming back to you're setting this up, you're setting the Nepal Tattoo Convention up 6 years ago.
Was it?
How did it all start? What was the thought that provoked you to go ahead and materialize the tattoo convention, and how did it actually happen?
You would say more when I was in Germany, traveled because I'd been to the conventions there, and when I came back, tattoo it was too expensive.
Right.
And coming back here, I asked my brother Vipin to get me some time from Mohan, Mohan Guru. So he was tattooing me, and then we were just then I told Mohan why not have a convention here, or has there been a convention here? And Mohan was like, no, this has always been my dream. Mohan live on here. So and then we two started talking about it, and it took us a year. Because everybody knew Mohan.
Right.
But nobody else, artist हो, थिएन, कसैलाई पनि थाहा छैन, type थियो त्यतिखेर. So there was it was our convention को कुरा गर्दाखेरि, and then there was the first gathering that we had. Okay, you're also artist, artist. So there was the first gathering that we had, and that's how it started. So then we had the first one was Nepal convention, but only for Nepali artists. So Hong Kong, India, just to get that feel, and what do we think of having a convention? Vibe, do we need it? Are we too early to do it? Or we don't need it, we don't want it? Because we didn't know. So that was the first gathering, and everybody was all excited. And then
how many artists were there?
The first time, me, 20
3D artists.
20 another too. And so there was, we had that gathering, we had around 20 artists, Nepali artists, and then there were a lot more to, because one was they didn't know what we were talking, what is a tattoo convention?
Yeah.
I get the question even now also, what is tattoo convention? What happens there? And I tell them, because I know, and then it's my responsibility, it's our responsibility, who knows, who's been there, to tell them yo huncha. So and then everybody was like, yes, please, let's do it. And then there was a support from everybody. How many initiatives we worked, that support from Sabik artists, Nepali artists, I have to contact, okay, we are doing this. And it's not my convention, it's ours. We all do it together. How many people do I know? And Mohan ko contact, Mohan chinne mansuru, other artists, and then we all, because we wanted to do it, and everybody believed in us, and they wanted to do it. So we got together, and then.
And Ruslan has been a great part of it from the start, right? The guys at Ruslan, always promoting art, always promoting music, always promoting sports. To get such a big sponsor for your convention certainly would have been a great driving factor to continue it
Yes,
over the years.
definitely. त्यतिखेर सुरुमा कुरा गर्दाखेरि सबैजनाले ट्याटु हाम्रो ब्रान्डसँग मिल्दैन ट्याटु भनेको के होइन ट्याटु भनेको यो ट्याटु भनेको त्यो सुन्दा भएको बेलामा यहाँ हामीलाई रुसलान आयो होइन अनि सुशीला आयो अनि कुरा गर्दाखेरि लाइक या लेट्स डु इट हामी के गर्नुपर्छ भन्नु भन्यो and then since then it's like now it's 6th year
and
then
Sushil Shrestha, the chief of brands of Himalayan Distillery, is still a part of it. Ruslan is a major part of it, right? And there are so many other sponsors that have come up. THT always goes on to promote, right?
And Nepali media and THT especially, like the kind of support we get from them is amazing. It's amazing. Like the hard work they have to go through, like emailing these guys questions बनाएर emailबाट पठाएर त्यही कहाँबाट त्यो then every day they've been talking about the artists coming here के गर्ने के नगर्ने.
It receives amazing media support because I remember last year, not last year, a couple of years ago actually, we did a show that year too, but I was hosting a different show in a different television station, and the news segment of that television was one of the most watched segments all over Nepal, and it's not often that they go beyond their mandates towards covering an event. But I just put it there, and Kantipur News went on to cover Tattoo Convention, which 5 years ago was an amazing thing. I don't think any news would ever feature a tattoo convention as their story. And you have those positive remarks, of course. Around the globe, you come up with stories in the media where a person for having a Buddha tattoo in their arm was deported from the airport. This particular instance, I'm talking about Sri Lanka, where this woman, for having a Buddha tattoo on her arm, was deported back to her country. Do you still get things like that all around the world, even in the modern day?
I haven't got any experience of that.
No.
Only positive things.
Only positive.
Yeah, only positive.
And what about when you come to Nepal and all these Tibetan arts that you've done all over your body, and you come across people from the same culture? What did they say when they?
I think you tell them what happened yesterday when we went to the shop and then you showed the monks.
Oh yeah, we went to a fabric shop and I have the Dalai Lama here.
You have Dalai Lama tattoo there. Oh, wow! That's if you could just hold that for a little while for our. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and
don't tell me you did that on yourself.
No. My master did it, and I was a little bit afraid to show it to them, but Bijay said to me, yeah, and they were surprised and very happy of it, and it was one of the best moments in my life,
They were like, thank you for doing that.
Thank you for him, for.
Amazing. What about you? I mean, yours I'm sure is like a more unique form of art in some ways.
Yeah.
Do you still get those surprise looks? Do you still get those surprise statements coming at you?
Yeah, I mean, I've got something in my arm that isn't very normal, so for sure people notice. I've got like magnetic implants, I've got a split tongue. So obviously if people see it, but it's not a negative thing here, people are just genuinely fascinated. In fact, when we were out digging toilets, I used to put shows on for the kids by putting the coins up from my hands, and they're like, what? And they're all looking to see what's going on. I think it depends also on the person. If you smile and you're friendly, people see beyond. Yeah, okay, it's a bit unusual, but
this is the thing about it too, because I mean, like, I've seen so many people, who would just come off like as a little aggressive, with tattoos all over their bodies or piercing all over their bodies, but those are the people that are the humblest of them all. Mohan Dai is one example of that. Every person I meet at the tattoo convention would be an example of that. Do you get problems getting through airport security?
My arm, when it's covered with the shirt, when they feel along there.
Right.
But the interesting was, for 4 years, it took 4 years until one customs official said, what is that? And they actually they would feel it and just go, and carry on. And now they might look at it. Coming into sort of India and Nepal, I was super friendly.
Right.
People are always like, they're interested you're different. They don't see it in the same way as perhaps when we fly back to Europe. So when I fly back into England, I'm going to get more of a negative reaction. than I will do when I arrive here. So I'll probably get stopped at customs. Last time, apparently, because I might have nunchuckers and knives. But it is, I mean, we face some degree still of what we look like in our own country, you know, discrimination. It's not like it was 20 years ago, but it's still
there.
Yeah, for sure.
So Bijay, like, big day tomorrow, huh?
Yes.
Big day for me today because today is the party. But, big day tomorrow for you.
Yes.
The 6th International Nepal Tattoo Convention. I mean, every year you have folk music, right?
Yes.
Nepali folk music. You have shows, right?
Yes.
And of course, tattooing is there. But it's all how the entire community that loves tattoos comes together here in Nepal. So what are the major attractions this year?
Like every year, my major attraction is always the artists. All of my artists.
The 150
Nepali-
artists that have traveled.
Oh, yeah. Nepali, international, every individual artist is my main attraction. And besides that, on the stage, we try to, it's always been like art, body art is one form of the show. But then I want to show हाम्रो आर्टिस्टहरू विदेशबाट आउनु भएको international artists like Nepali culture ki ho, Nepali dance ki ho, our beautiful costumes, the details and the ornaments that we have, the colors that we use, and then the paints that we have in face when we do like the Kali dance, Bhairav dance, Shiva dance, or the music that we have, and so that's going to be there. And then along with that, this year we're going to have like 3 beautiful bands like Hari Marjan Hari Marjan project ko. First day we have that show, second day we have Saksham, and then on the third day we have Kanta Dubdub Rizuko band, which is another sitar, bass, and Tuhalko funk fusion band. So this is our stage. So we want to show Nepali what tattoo industry, tattoo art is international. Nepali and then also the stage. Why not take an opportunity to show this guy is what our culture is, or even in my part, because हामीले कति नै देखेको छौँ नेपाली show के हुन्छ भनेर, and we go to Nepali restaurant or some restaurant मा गएपछि maybe we'll see जात्रामा कलिकति देख्छ तर we don't have that on stage.
Right.
It's also for, but I want to see those things too. And then
So I said, you said I'm going to put it on my show.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
There you go. Quentin, what do you want to say to a lot of people watching you, a lot of tattoo lovers too, because the kind of response I was getting for today's show was a lot of people tattoo lovers wait for this episode of the year and go through like a lot to find this. Last year we didn't put it up on YouTube. This year we are going to. What do you want to say to all of those Nepali tattoo lovers that have been a part of this convention some way or the other for the past 6-7 years?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Basically,
Lots of good words.
yeah, that's about it. Thank you for allowing. I mean, I feel honoured and very, very fortunate to have come for the last 6 years, and I hope I can continue to keep coming and come down this weekend. Come and enjoy it. I mean, it's the one convention where you've got families, you've got mum, dad, granny, kids. Everyone comes along, and that is what is also so lovely about this convention is the mix of Nepali people who come down as well. So it's
George?
open doors.
Any last words for our audience?
I just can't wait to see everybody, to meet everybody, and to be part of your of this fest, because I can't wait to see what what this guy has organized.
Lastly, Bijay, what do you want to say? I mean, you've gotten amazing support from the audiences. You've gotten amazing love from Nepali
It's a
people.
blessing.
Not just tattoo lovers, but I go on to mention tattoo convention in most of my conversations with people, over the past 2 months, and everybody has something to say about it. It is I would perhaps imagine, this guy would never come to Nepal Tattoo Convention, but even he knows it, and he has something good to say about it. So that's the kind of response that you've gathered over the years. What would you like to say?
I mean, this is the hard work of my entire team. Mohan र हामीले मैले सोचेको कुरा भयो that we have Om, we have Bipin, we have Kumari Bauju. So it's and then we have Sandeep, Mohan, Banja, everybody, we have sponsors, Sushil ko भयो, Timi भयो, THT, Nepal Tourism Board, it's and of course my artists. This guy is Nepali artist, international, everybody, the love that we have for each other, the respect that we have for this art and for Nepal, and that's why it works. and as long as we're going to have it, and I pray it's going to stay this way forever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And then, yeah, that's the energy that we have, the positive vibe that we want to create, and we have been able to create. That's the most important thing for us, for the organizing team, and the support that we get is a blessing.
Well, on behalf of all the tattoo lovers, me myself being one, I would like to thank both you gentlemen and Bijay Dai for supporting the tattoo industry community, of course, but for loving Nepal and for loving what we try to put up here every year. Thank you very much, guys. It's been
Thank
an
you for
amazing
having
show
us.
with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well,
thank you,
thank you,
Suraj.
ladies and gentlemen, for joining us from the other side of the screen. We discussed the International Nepal Tattoo Convention here today. The 6th edition of it is going to start tomorrow at Yak and Yeti. Will go on till Sunday. So make sure
10,
that we
10 a.m.
10 a.m. onwards, right? And we're going to be there till late night. Although he'll perhaps go on and say that it's going to close at 5, 6. I mean, that's where we're going to be for 3 days. I hope to see you there. It's been amazing tonight. We'll see you tomorrow on the show as well. Everybody have a great night. Bye-bye.